Hello lovelies, today I'm going to be talking to you about something that's quite personal to me, and if you are going to be very offensive towards this or anything rude, then please click off this video because it's not for you. And I just want to share my experience and my opinions about this. So today, as you can see, I'm going to be talking to you about autistic spectrum disorder and my story of it. I have actually only recently been diagnosed with it a couple of months ago, well, a few months ago, so I'm fairly new to it, but my mum thinks I've had it since I was 11 or 10, and I was meant to actually go to an autistic school when I was 12, to start high school there. You know, come home every night still, not like a boarding school like some people do go to. And it's like just a special school for people with all sorts of different autism. Going on to people with autistic things, this is how it's laid out, autistic spectrum disorder. I'm actually going away in August on holiday with some autistic people, a little group. They're all the same people, so there's not new people every week or anything like that. And hopefully I'm going to make some new friends. Never been camping before, so I'm going to be in the guide and scout centre. I'm not going outside. No. I could not go outside. Some autistic girls and boys like to collect things. Since last year, I have been collecting. I don't anymore because I have a new obsession I haven't figured out yet. Receipts. I have a whole bunch of receipts that I have collected. It's because my autism, you want to collect things. There is nobody at all I really know with autism. I went to a college taste today and there was some people with ADHD there. I don't really know how bad theirs is. There is a girl that is a bit crazy, a bit like me. Sorry, my camera's leaning, like my camera was in front of my tea and I had to reach my tea. So basically it started out by my mum saying, we need to take something. So I'm like, okay, you've got something called autism. And I'm like, what's autism? Well, it's very hard to explain. It's just you're a little bit different from everybody else, but you don't look it. So everybody, I look like a normal girl. Well, hopefully. You know, I look like just a normal human being, really. And then when you get to know me more, you start to realise I'm not such like normal people. Especially, I have ADHD as well, and I also have anxiety. So, I think most people in the world really have anxiety. I mean, there's no one in this world that doesn't get anxious about something. Before I went to my taste today, I was actually this close to not going. The bus was then coming, and I got up. I had such chronic stomach pain. I got up, my mum said, we need to get you out of the situation now. And I stood up and I felt so dizzy and I was nearly sick and I literally dropped to the floor begging for a drink. And then the bus was here and I was like, I can't get on this bus. Luckily my friend from school was there and she gave me a drink and everything and she said, come on, get on the bus, it's alright. And I just kept breathing in and out, and that was my first ever proper panic attack. I've had an anxiety attack where I was like crying because I couldn't go to school. January the 14th. I have never been to school ever since, except for doing little days a week in an office working. And then my exams, obviously, so I haven't actually stepped foot in a classroom for a good half a year now. And I wouldn't want to, ever. With my experience, I never wish this on anybody. The experience I've had for 9 years of my life has been tears, pain, blood. I used to self-harm, not going to keep that away from everybody. No, I'm not saying that for attention, I'm just telling you I have experienced self-harm, and it's not nice, it's really not nice. the feeling you think one cut's not enough. You think, I need to keep going because it makes me feel better. I did keep going for at least 2 weeks. I did it twice the first week and once the second week. And then quite a few months later I did it on my leg when I'd been clean. You can't see my scars, I know, and that's because I didn't cut. I drew blood, but I didn't keep cutting over the same cuts. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to scar myself. I did it to the point where I realised what I was doing. That's another thing with autism. You don't know what's appropriate and inappropriate for YouTube. Say this, YouTube. I could easily just do something inappropriate and not realise that's inappropriate. I am like that sometimes. I like to tell everybody I'm a lesbian and why I don't like guys and why I'm not dating guys. And my mum does get a bit embarrassed about it sometimes. Yes, she has admitted that to me today. I mean, I want people to know that because I don't like the fact that people don't know in the world that I'm a lesbian, you know. Because some boy could come up to me and start talking to me and I would be like, this is really awkward, I don't know how to tell him, when the world already knows. Hence why I did my coming out video for you. That was my kind of coming out video because coming out to my parents wasn't very well, but it doesn't matter, that's a different thing. But, you know, you sit in a classroom and you think someone's staring at you, so I get really angry and anxious and be like, maybe she's staring at me, or she's staring at me, and they're like, no we're not, blah blah blah. That is something my mum and dad have repeatedly said to me. You always think someone's staring at you. And I do, and it's not nice, and you always think someone's talking about you, and it turns out they're not, but half the time it turns out they are. You sit in a classroom and you'd be like, I don't want to do my work, I don't feel like this. Many times I've wanted to walk out and swear, but I didn't want to ruin my reputation for my future. I didn't want to swear in front of a teacher. A lot of autistic people will do. If I'd have gone to an autistic school, I probably would have, because they'd have understood why I'd swear. They wouldn't put you in isolation, they wouldn't time you out, anything like that. They'd understand why you swore, you know. And if I'd have done that in school, yes, I have sworn in front of a teacher. I didn't realise he was knowing. I didn't know he was looking at me. I said, F you, you C-U-N-T. Well, fuck you, you cunt. To a boy who used to always call me a dog. He was the worst in my science class. He'd always bully me so much I used to cry, and he was the reason why I self-harmed as well. And he caught me saying it, and he believed a word of everything he said. Everything he said, he believed. He never believed me. No teacher ever supported me in high school. This is why I'm here telling you this story. No one supported me. No one gave me the right support I wanted. No one supported my family. No one could ever really deal with it. They acted like, why would we try and help her? You know, she's not really worth helping. She's just like the other children. That's how they would act. Like, oh, well, I'm just like everyone else. I'm not. I have to be treated differently to everybody else. If someone says to me, say when they say, with homework, I can't be treated the same way. If I haven't done it, I can't be treated the way that everyone else is treated when they haven't done it. In detention, I cannot go to detentions. I can't face them. So, every time I have detention, I know I've got it. I just make up I forgot. And I just get myself into more and more deputy head detentions. And I still wouldn't go to them. So that was getting me in even worse trouble. You know, it's... When you have this, I would never ever wish this upon anybody. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I want people to know what it's like. I want to help people with this. Now I've had it for quite a few years without even realising, but my mum and dad did realise, but they never told me. because I was too young to understand it. I want to help people. I want to help people get through it. I am quite a supportive person in logic. I don't like to see anybody suffer. That's why whenever I thought someone was getting hurt or bullied, I try and step in. Sometimes it was a bad decision to step in, sometimes it was a good decision. Because I get bullied back by the person that's trying to hurt my friend. So I shouldn't have really butted in, but I couldn't because I couldn't watch my friend get hurt. When you're in the situation where you're being bullied 24/7, it's like you're in a world where everything's crumbling on you and you feel like you're not worth the time of day, you're not worth anything. You feel like you don't want to be alive anymore, so you're crying your eyes out, texting people saying, I'm crying, I can't deal with this anymore, I just want to die. And they're all messaging back like saying, no, don't do this, you don't know what you're saying. But then you're sitting there saying, I never said that I'm going to do it, I said I wanted to. And then they'll be like, and then there's always one friend that says, I dare you. And that's the worst thing anyone could say to you. Someone did say this to me, and they said, I dare you to do it, I bet you wouldn't. Honestly, I didn't try, because I was sensible, and I figured in my head, if I try, I could easily go wrong and kill myself. You never should ever try and kill yourself. Never even tell anybody to kill themselves, because that's the worst thing you could do. Another worst thing to do is tell an anorexic person that they look like they've put weight on as well. You're all probably going to think that I'm not anorexic, but in my head I think I am. I'm only like 6 stone, 7 stone something. This time last year I was 5.5 stone. Then my eyes were opened, saying, look, if you don't start eating, we're going to have to take you to hospital. So I tried to start eating again. I never had interest in food quite a few years ago when I was a little kid. Mainly because my brother had an Xbox. So I always wanted to be on that. It stimulated my mind. These things with autistic people, little things, can always stimulate your mind and help. Loom bands. I've only just learnt how to do those quite a few months ago. Well, not quite a few months ago, but 3 months ago, and you just learnt because I didn't have interest in them at all when they were first out. No interest. Now I like to do it. I like to do videos. I love talking to the camera and expressing my feelings, because the camera can never say anything horrible back. Yes, YouTube can, but you just have to try and deal with it. With me, I can't, because I can't deal with cyberbullies. I was cyberbullied too much. That is probably the worst thing to do with me. I'm not going to make this too long because I don't try to keep this YouTube channel very negative, the same as Dolce Foodie doesn't. So I'm going to cut it off here now because my battery's going to go. But I just want all of you people to know that autism and ADHD, it's going to get fighted back. I know none of those have got any cures. I know ADHD hasn't got a cure, but I take medication. I'm on quite high dose, 30 milligrams of Equazim once a morning. I was put on 40, but it made me worse. Autism, you can't cure that at all. You know, I just want all of you guys to know that I'm here to support with you with depression, anxiety, whatever. I used to have depression. I'm not diagnosed with it, but I felt like I had it. If any of you have any questions, feel free to email me or message me even. You know, ask for my number. I don't mind posting it on here because I can just block anybody who tries to be horrible or rude. Preferably girls, because I can't talk to boys. I despise talking to guys. It's the odd time I'll even email a guy with replying to a request. So just feel free to text me or email me and I can help you through anything you would like to. Thank you so much for even taking the time to watch this or listen to this.